And after flash flooding has been recovered.
Mind-boggling, and it's beautiful. It's amazing.
A beauty mankind could never create, but must always protect.
The Grand Canyon, one of the most iconic natural wonders on the planet. Its imposing layers of red rock not only tell us the story of the Earth, but also offer a glimpse into its evolution over millions of years.
It's more grand than you can imagine.
Known as the basement of history, each stratum of this geological monument represents a crucial chapter in our past, a sort of natural archive of forgotten eras. However, a recent discovery by a group of scientists has left everyone astonished.
Are investigating.
What they found beneath these ancient rock layers could completely change our understanding of the planet's history and perhaps even life itself. But what exactly did they find, and why is this discovery so terrifying? Join us as we uncover the astonishing and chilling scientific discoveries at the Grand Canyon. You won't want to miss this. Number 10. The Colorado River is almost dry. The Colorado River has long been a vital resource for communities and ecosystems in the southwestern United States. But scientists are warning of a grim future. The river, which feeds millions of people and forms natural wonders like the Grand Canyon, may be on the verge of drying up. If urgent action isn't taken, this mighty waterway could vanish, irreparably altering the landscape and water supplies of an entire region. The Colorado River, which originates in the Rocky Mountains, has an impressive 2,330 kilometers journey, passing through some of the driest and most dramatic landscapes in North America. Its course has carved iconic places like the Grand Canyon, a natural wonder of overwhelming proportions. From there, the river flows through deserts, canyons, and wetlands until it reaches its delta in Mexico and the Gulf of California. This river is not only famous for its imposing geography, but also supports a vital economy in nearby cities. The waters of the Colorado supply major urban areas like Los Angeles, Phoenix, and San Diego, providing water for drinking, agriculture, and industry. Along its route, the river is used for recreational activities like kayaking and canoeing, especially in the Grand Canyon, where the waters continue to attract thousands of tourists every year. However, despite its power, the Colorado River faces a serious crisis. Over the past few decades, water levels have plummeted due to a number of factors, with human intervention playing a key role. The construction of dams and the diversion of its waters to supply rapidly growing cities have drastically reduced the river's flow. The Glen Canyon Dam, for example, built in the 1960s, diverted large amounts of water from the river to create Lake Powell, a massive hydroelectric reservoir. The main issue is that the reservoirs in the river's basin are now operating at dangerously low levels. This has been exacerbated by prolonged droughts, climate change, and the over-exploitation of water resources. The Glen Canyon Dam, while designed to generate electricity and regulate the river's flow, has been functioning below capacity. This means that the water no longer flows as abundantly, which could affect millions of people and animals who rely on the Colorado River's water. Lake Mead, the largest reservoir in the US by capacity, reflects the gravity of the situation. While it remains a popular destination for water sports, the marks on its rocky walls show that water levels have dropped significantly in recent years. If this trend continues, the future of the river and the communities that depend on it is in serious jeopardy. The state of the Colorado River raises important questions about how to manage one of the most critical resources in the southwestern US. If water levels continue to decline, we could reach a point where there won't be enough water to supply the states that rely on the river, including California, Arizona, and Nevada. This could have devastating consequences for drinking water supplies, agriculture, and wildlife in the region. Dams like the Glen Canyon were built with the intention of controlling the river's flow and generating power, but today they represent a significant obstacle. If water levels in the reservoir continue to drop, the dam's ability to generate electricity will be reduced. Moreover, engineers warn that the current water levels are so low that it may soon be impossible to release water efficiently, further worsening the crisis.
Complex problems not only in natural resources, but politically, economically, socially.
In response to this alarming situation, environmental groups have begun pressuring politicians to urgently update the infrastructure of the dams. These reforms could allow water to flow more efficiently to the river and downstream areas. However, implementing these changes is no easy task and requires cooperation at the federal, state, and local levels, along with a serious commitment to sustainability. The future of the Colorado River is uncertain, and the situation will only worsen without decisive action. If nothing is done soon to restore natural flows and manage water resources more equitably, this vital river could become nothing more than a distant memory of what it once was, a symbol of life in the southwestern United States. Number 9. The luxury suite in the Grand Canyon. Few places in the world have as peculiar a history as the secret suite located deep within the Grand Canyon, a subterranean structure designed during the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1961. At that time, when the fear of a nuclear conflict between the United States and the Soviet Union was at its peak, President John F. Kennedy decided to take extreme measures to protect his government and the American population.
When the cause of freedom is endangered all over the world.
His solution? Build an underground shelter in one of the most imposing natural wonders of the world. The Grand Canyon, with its rocky formations and natural inaccessibility, was chosen as the perfect site to build an emergency shelter capable of housing over 2,000 people. This underground hotel was designed to offer safety in the event of a nuclear attack, equipped with enough provisions to feed its occupants for at least a month. The project, completed in just 4 months, was a response to the growing global tensions. And although the threat of nuclear war never materialized, the suite remained hidden for years as a symbol of the paranoia of the era. Located about 67 meters below the surface of the Grand Canyon, this subterranean suite is a true marvel of engineering. For over 40 years, emergency supplies such as food and water remained fresh and ready to use thanks to the canyon's naturally dry climate, which prevents decay and keeps underground conditions in perfect condition. Rather than being a simple, austere refuge, the complex was designed to offer comfort to its occupants. It featured beds, a television, a record player, and a small library, ensuring that those who found themselves there in an emergency would have the most comfortable environment possible. The underground hotel also had running water, supplied by hundreds of gallons of water brought in manually since the cave was completely isolated from natural water sources. Despite the extreme conditions and lack of humidity, food supplies were carefully preserved so they could be consumed without spoiling. In fact, these supplies remained in perfect condition for decades, a testament to the unusual conditions of the Grand Canyon, which prevents the survival of rodents, insects, and other animals that might have contaminated the provisions. Although the nuclear threat never materialized, the underground suite gradually became a tourist attraction for those visiting the park. While not entirely private, tourists can access this curious piece of history for a considerable price. For approximately $900 per night, visitors have the opportunity to experience what it would be like to spend the night in one of the most remote and protected places on Earth, in a cave that has witnessed an important part of American history. Today, the suite remains one of the Grand Canyon's best-kept secrets, and while it was never used for its original purpose, its history continues to fascinate those eager to learn about a lesser-known side of this stunning national park. With its unique atmosphere, dry climate, and mystery, The underground suite has become a place that symbolizes both Cold War paranoia and the incredible human ability to adapt in times of crisis. Number 8. The case of the disappearing and reappearing bodies. The Grand Canyon is a place of stunning natural beauty, but it has also been the scene of strange and tragic events, such as the inexplicable disappearances of people.
Park officials say Chenoa Nickerson's body was found in the Colorado River yesterday by a group who was rafting.
One of the most surprising cases occurred in 2021 when a body was discovered in the remote depths of the canyon, about 130 meters below the rim. The body belonged to Gabor Berci Tongzanyi, a 45-year-old Hungarian man who had been reported missing days earlier. Tongzanyi's family had alerted the Las Vegas authorities, who began an exhaustive search. The discovery of his car and belongings at the visitor center provided clues to his whereabouts, leading rescue teams to the tragic discovery of his body. However, what was even more unsettling than the discovery of Tongzanyi's body was the finding of another body nearby. This one belonged to Scott Walsh, who had disappeared in 2015. Walsh had last been seen getting off a shuttle bus at the south rim of the park, but his whereabouts had remained a mystery for more than 5 years. His body was found about 5 kilometers from where he had last been seen, in a remote and difficult-to-access area. What made the discovery of Walsh's body even more puzzling was the way his clothing had camouflaged so perfectly with the rocky surroundings that his body had remained invisible to search teams for all that time. Investigators were astonished to see how the geography of the canyon had played a key role in concealing the bodies in areas so remote that even the most thorough searchers hadn't detected them. The Grand Canyon is a place of complex geography, with a labyrinth of canyons and deep cracks that can make it incredibly difficult to locate people or objects. The layers of rock, fissures, and valleys create a setting where even bodies can remain hidden for years. As rescue teams ventured deeper into the more inaccessible areas of the canyon, they began to discover that the terrain is more deceptive than it seems. The combination of its vast size, the complexity of its rock formations, and limited visibility in certain areas makes some parts of the canyon nearly impossible to fully explore. This phenomenon of disappearing and reappearing bodies has added a layer of mystery to the Grand Canyon's history. While most deaths in the canyon are the result of accidents or extreme conditions, cases of inexplicable disappearances fuel legends about what really happens inside this vast geological formation. The disappearances are not just due to the physical dangers of the canyon, but to the way the geography hides secrets in its depths. Stories of bodies being found years after being reported missing continue to raise questions. Some suggest that the canyon has a dark side, capable of swallowing those who venture too far. Others believe that the wild nature of the canyon still challenges human understanding and our ability to master its vast and complex territories. The truth is that, beyond the legends, the Grand Canyon remains a place that challenges our understanding of nature and the mysteries it holds. Number 7. The ruins of Tusayan. The Grand Canyon is not only a natural wonder, but also a silent witness to human history, especially that of the ancient Puebloans, who left their mark on this region over 800 years ago. In particular, the settlement of Tusayan, located near the south rim of the canyon, reveals a civilization that flourished around 1185 AD. Studies and excavations have shown that this settlement was a hub of community life, with homes, agricultural fields, ceremonial structures, and food storage depots. Tusayan is known for its unique layout, a central plaza surrounded by homes and kivas, the latter being underground structures used for spiritual ceremonies. The homes were made of stone and wood, with functional spaces tailored to daily needs. Additionally, the site includes 2 kivas, accessed by a ladder from the roof, which served as centers for religious rituals. This type of construction reflects the importance of spirituality for the peoples who lived in this area, and the kivas continue to be used by the Hopi and other tribes today. In the 1930s, the site was excavated by archaeologists from the Gila Pueblo, who discovered a variety of artifacts now displayed at the Tusayan Museum, established in 1932. This small but significant museum is dedicated to the ancient cultures of the region and exhibits artifacts such as twig figures dating from 2,000 to 4,000 years ago, which represent the deep connection between native peoples and their environment. Since its inception, the museum has played a crucial role in preserving the cultural and archaeological history of the Grand Canyon, highlighting the enduring influence of the 5 native tribes of the area: the Havasupai, Hopi, Hualapai, Navajo, and Paiute. Number 6. The Mogollon Monster. In the remote and dense areas of the Grand Canyon, among cliffs and vast forests, hides a legend that has intrigued adventurers, cryptozoologists, and those in search of the unexplained: the Mogollon Monster. This mysterious being, dubbed the Bigfoot of Arizona, is believed to inhabit the thick landscape of the Mogollon Rim, a geological formation stretching over 600 meters in height from the northern part of Yavapai County to the border with New Mexico. The story of this creature dates back to the early 20th century. The first documented sighting occurred in 1903 when explorer Ingvold Walter Stevens had a close encounter with a being he described as a large, hairy humanoid figure with superhuman strength. Stevens reported that the creature was able to move with surprising agility, crossing the rugged terrain of the canyon without making a sound, which only added to the mystery of its existence. This sighting was followed by other reports, including one from Don Davis, a cryptozoology enthusiast who claimed to have seen the creature in the 1940s during a camping trip near Payson. According to Davis, the Mogollon Monster had a square head, expressionless eyes, and a height of over 2 meters, covered in thick fur that gave it a terrifying appearance. Davis also reported that the creature emitted an unbearable odor, similar to rotting meat or dead fish, a scent commonly associated with mysterious creatures like this. Over the years, reports of the Mogollon Monster have multiplied, with more people claiming to have heard strange screams, like the cry of a woman in distress, or found large footprints in the ground. Many of these witnesses agree that the creature is capable of mimicking the sounds of animals that inhabit the canyon, which further increases the enigma of its presence. Some have suggested that it may be an unknown species of primate, or even a larger version of the brown bears that live in the region. Despite the numerous reports and testimonies, the existence of the Mogollon Monster remains a mystery. Skeptics believe that the sightings could be the result of optical illusions or confusion with other animals, such as large brown bears known for their size and behavior. Scientists, on the other hand, have not found conclusive physical evidence to prove the creature's existence, although the persistence of sightings suggests that the myth continues to live on in the Grand Canyon's popular culture. The legend of the Mogollon Monster not only attracts those in search of answers to the unexplained, but is also an integral part of the region's folklore. To some, it is just a myth. To others, it is a real creature that still lurks in the shadows of the canyon. Whatever the truth may be, the mystery of the Mogollon remains, fueling tales of terror and fascination among those who venture into its dark corners. Number 5. Strange prehistoric life forms. Found in the Grand Canyon. In the Grand Canyon, a geologist named Alan Krill made an unexpected discovery that would change our understanding of Earth's history. While walking along the Bright Angel Trail, he noticed a rock with strange markings. What seemed like a simple rock turned out to be a fascinating find: fossilized footprints of vertebrates dating back 313 million years. This discovery is not only remarkable because of the age of the footprints, but also because it could rewrite what we know about the first animals to walk on Earth. The story began when a large rock fell from a cliff, revealing markings on its surface that caught the attention of Alan Krill, an experienced geologist. Walking with a student along the famous Bright Angel Trail in the Grand Canyon National Park, Krill noticed that the rock had visible footprints that appeared to be fossils. With his trained eye, he immediately recognized the markings as something unusual and, before the opportunity passed, took some photos. With the material in hand, Krill sent the images to Stephen Rowland, a paleontologist from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, known for his excavations at significant sites. After studying the photos carefully, Rowland confirmed that the markings were fossilized footprints of a vertebrate animal, specifically an amniote, a category of animals that lay eggs with hard shells, which distinguishes them from modern reptiles. The analysis revealed that the footprints were over 313 million years old, making them the oldest evidence of vertebrates ever found in the Grand Canyon. This discovery rewrote part of the history of life on Earth, as no earlier evidence of these animals had been known in the region. The rock containing the footprints weighed several hundred pounds and had fallen from a sandstone formation known as Monocaccacha, which is approximately 314 million years old. The sandy material that accumulated on the rock played a key role in preserving the footprints, keeping them intact over eons. Further analysis by Rowland revealed that the footprints showed two different patterns of reptilian movement crossing the rock in a diagonal direction. One of the animals seemed to move more slowly, while the other did so more quickly. This type of lateral movement is characteristic of tetrapods, four-legged vertebrates. The mystery arising from this discovery is whether these footprints belong to two different animals that walked in the same spot at different times, or whether they belong to a single animal that crossed the same path multiple times. Although the analysis of the footprints does not provide a definitive answer, the lateral movement pattern is common among early tetrapods, suggesting that it was a type of reptile that moved in a manner similar to modern animals. This discovery not only offers a new perspective on the history of vertebrates, but also challenges what was previously known about amniotes. According to Rowland, the footprints suggest that these animals inhabited the dunes much earlier than previously thought, even 8 million years earlier than other records of amniotes. However, this discovery was not without controversy. Some scientists, such as Mark Nibel, manager of the paleontology program at the Grand Canyon, pointed out that the interpretation of the footprints and the determination of the rock's age were points of disagreement within the scientific community. Nibel, while praising Krill's discovery, emphasized the difficulties paleontologists face when analyzing fossil footprints that are so ancient, especially when the creature responsible for them remains unknown. Despite the disagreements within the scientific community, Krill and Rowland's discovery remains a significant milestone, offering a unique window into the lives of early vertebrates who inhabited a landscape very different from what we know today. The fossilized footprints are not only a testament to prehistoric life, but also a reminder of how little we truly know about the distant past of our planet. Number 4. Uranium deposit found in the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is a sacred place for many Native American tribes, and its natural beauty has been recognized worldwide. However, this treasure of nature faces an unexpected threat: uranium mining. Recent discoveries have revealed uranium deposits near the canyon, sparking a battle between environmental protection, commercial interests, and indigenous communities that depend on the canyon for their survival. The Grand Canyon is not only a site of breathtaking natural beauty, but also a place with profound spiritual significance for at least 11 Native American tribes. However, its integrity is being threatened by uranium mining, an activity that endangers both the ecosystem and the health of nearby communities. In the southwestern United States, especially around the Grand Canyon, there are geological formations rich in uranium, a mineral used in nuclear energy production. Uranium is primarily found in formations known as breccia pipes, which are deeply embedded in layers of sandstone, shale, and limestone. These types of deposits have attracted miners since the 1870s, but uranium mining in the area intensified in the 1950s. With the opening of mines, like the Orphan Mine, located near the national park. Today, there are numerous active uranium mines in the region, including the famous Canyon Mine, which is one of the most productive in the country. Despite the evident risks to the environment, companies continue to exploit these resources despite growing concerns about groundwater contamination, which is vital for tribes like the Havasupai who live at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. The Havasupai depend on fresh water springs for their daily needs, from drinking to agriculture and ceremonial uses. In response to these concerns, efforts have been made to protect the Grand Canyon and its surroundings. Through campaigns organized by environmental groups, fishermen, hunters, and indigenous communities, a 20-year moratorium on uranium mining in approximately 1 million acres of public land around the canyon was achieved in 2012. Although this was a significant step forward, the moratorium provides only a temporary respite. The mines remain active, and new mining claims continue to expand on nearby public lands. Uranium mining near the Grand Canyon poses a serious threat to both the environment and the communities that rely on its natural resources. If mining continues, the consequences could be devastating. Contamination of springs, degradation of natural habitats, and damage to water sources that sustain thousands of people. Additionally, native tribes like the Havasupai face a constant struggle to preserve their sacred land and protect their vital resources. Despite efforts to protect the Grand Canyon, commercial interests continue to push for the lifting of the moratorium. With nearly 600 active mining claims in the region, the future of the Grand Canyon remains uncertain. Indigenous communities and environmental advocates are fighting to secure legislation that would permanently ban mining in this critical area to preserve not only the natural beauty of the canyon, but also the health and well-being of the people who call it home. Number 3. The Havasupai Tribe. Nestled deep within the Grand Canyon, the Havasupai tribe, also known as the Havasu Baja, is one of the most isolated and small indigenous communities in the United States. Their home in Supai Canyon is known as the only place in the country where mail is delivered by mules. This isolation has helped preserve their traditional way of life and their connection to the land. The Havasupai live a lifestyle adapted to the harsh conditions of their environment. During the fall and winter months, they reside on the Colorado Plateau near the canyon's edge, where they primarily hunt and gather. In the spring and summer, they move to the more fertile areas of the canyon, such as the Tonto Platform, where they grow crops like corn, beans, squash, and melons. This seasonal pattern of migration and cultivation reflects their deep relationship with nature and the Grand Canyon environment. Their architecture is also unique. The Havasupai dwellings, made from willow reeds and straight branches, feature round roofs that make them resistant to the weather. Interestingly, members of the tribe have a particular tradition when it comes to sleeping, orienting their faces east, believing it protects them from nightmares. This cultural detail highlights the importance of rituals and spiritual beliefs that have guided the Havasupai for centuries. Though the Havasupai lived in complete isolation for millennia, it wasn't until 1776, when Spanish priest Francisco Garces arrived at Havasu Canyon and made contact with the tribe. His encounter with the Havasupai opened a new chapter in the history of this indigenous group, which had kept its existence hidden from the rest of the world. Since then, the tribe has continued to live in the canyon, facing modern challenges but always maintaining a strong connection to their ancestral traditions. Today, the Havasupai tribe remains a symbol of resistance and cultural preservation. Their way of life, although adapted to modern times, is still a manifestation of the deep bond they have maintained with the Grand Canyon for generations. Number 2. Grand Canyon caves with giant sloth droppings. Many are unaware that the Grand Canyon hides within its depths a series of mysterious caves that contain valuable Ice Age fossils. Among the most fascinating discoveries are the droppings of giant sloths that lived in the region over 10,000 years ago. These droppings, along with the remains of other prehistoric creatures, provide a glimpse into the ecosystem of the area during that period. In 1936, at the western end of the Grand Canyon, a team of researchers discovered Rampart Cave, one of the many hidden cavities in the canyon. Inside this cave, they found well-preserved remains of prehistoric animals, preserved by the region's dry climate. While most of the caves are narrow and difficult to explore, some are large enough to offer a natural refuge for many animals. One of the most surprising discoveries was the droppings of giant sloths, creatures that could have exceeded 2.5 meters in length and weighed over 200 kilograms. These sloths, part of the megafauna that inhabited the continent, lived until about 10,000 years ago, but left traces of their presence in the region. The droppings found in the cave were analyzed using radiocarbon dating, revealing they had been there between 11,000 and 40,000 years. What scientists discovered upon analyzing these droppings was revealing. They contained remnants of local plants, which allowed them to learn about the sloth's diet. A variety of plants were identified, from mallow to species like Mormon tea, cactus, and yucca. These findings not only help us understand what these animals ate, but they also offer a window into the vegetation that once dominated the Grand Canyon landscape during the Ice Age. Aside from the giant sloth droppings, researchers also found fossilized remains of Harrington mountain goats, a type of goat that disappeared around 19,000 years ago. These goats were smaller than their modern relatives, but shared many of their characteristics. The fossils of these animals provided more information about the fauna of the time, and how megafauna were gradually replaced by smaller species like goats and deer. Moreover, the caves also housed mummified bats, whose preservation was astounding. In some cases, the details of the bat tissues were so well preserved that scientists could even analyze the proteins in their skin. According to Steve Emsley, a biology professor, chemical analysis of the bat remains revealed that these animals likely fed on the megafauna that eventually became extinct. The disappearance of these large herbivores, such as the giant sloth, indirectly led to the extinction of bats and other species that depended on them. The discovery of these sloth droppings and other megafauna remains is crucial to understanding the Grand Canyon ecosystem during the Ice Age. Scientists can now see how species interactions and climate changes contributed to the extinction of some of the largest creatures to ever roam the continent. The study of these fossils also sheds light on the evolution of North American fauna and how the environment changed over time. Number 1. The terrible creation of the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is one of the most stunning landscapes in the world, and its geological formation is as fascinating as its size. Stretching 445 kilometers in length, up to 29 kilometers in width, and more than 1,600 meters deep, the canyon offers a unique window into the history of Earth. What we see today is not the result of a single event, but of millions of years of geological processes that have sculpted this natural monument. The story of the Grand Canyon's creation began about 70 million years ago, during the Cretaceous period. At that time, the region was a relatively flat landscape. However, the uplifting of the Colorado Plateau, caused by tectonic forces, dramatically altered the area's topography. This uplift allowed for the formation of a river basin, an ideal area for water action, which would eventually carve the canyon. Around 6 million years ago, the Colorado River began flowing through the region and started cutting deeply into the newly raised plateau. As the water eroded the rocks, the geological layers were exposed, revealing formations dating from very distant epochs. Over the centuries, the river modified the landscape, and the erosion caused by its waters created a complex structure of cliffs, terraces, and canyons. The erosion was not only driven by the river, but also by other geological and climatic factors. Changes in climate over the millennia accelerated or slowed this process. During colder periods, glaciers and freeze-thaw cycles fragmented the rocks, while during warmer periods, the river's flow increased, intensifying erosion. Some rock layers, such as hard sandstones, resisted time better and helped create the dramatic cliffs seen today. What visitors to the Grand Canyon observe today are the results of these millions of years of geological activity. On its walls, layers of rock can be seen representing specific periods in the Earth's history, from the Paleozoic era to the Mesozoic era. These layers include sedimentary rocks, such as limestone and sandstone, as well as volcanic formations. These formations allow geologists to study not only the canyon's evolution, but also the geological history of the region and the planet as a whole. The erosion process continues today, meaning the canyon is in constant change. The Colorado River is still shaping the landscape, although at a slower pace than in the past. This geological phenomenon serves as a reminder of the ongoing action of nature, which, though not always visible, continues to shape the world around us. The Grand Canyon is not only a place of breathtaking beauty, but also a testament to nature's ability to transform landscapes over long periods of time. By visiting the canyon, tourists are not only witnessing an awe-inspiring landscape, but also a continuous process of change and evolution. The Grand Canyon is a work in constant transformation, and its geological history continues to unfold beneath our feet. And there you have it, folks. What scientists have recently discovered in the Grand Canyon is something that has left everyone amazed and will undoubtedly change the way we view this iconic place. What lies beneath the surface of the canyon holds secrets that even experts couldn't have imagined. If this video surprised you, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on more amazing discoveries. Activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new videos. What do you think about this discovery? Leave your opinion in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for joining us, and remember, the world is full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered. See you in the next video. Until next time.